All right, let's talk about Drake Maye, who, no getting around it, this was an awful day by the Patriots offensively. There were so many issues that we're going to get into. It certainly was not all Drake Maye's fault, although some of it was, so we'll talk about it all. There were some positives, too, some silver linings here, so let's get into it all. Before we do, though, real quick, I will just mention I do have a movie channel. If you like watching movies, like talking about movies, you can check that out. The link is in the description below. Jackson Kruger movies. But yeah, let's start off with the play you see on your screen. It's a second down and 16. There were a lot of second down and longs, first down and longs. We'll get into that later, actually. But you have a one-on-one matchup down the field. You see Maye's going to take the snap. He eventually looks in that direction, fires, and there's a bit of a window for sure. It's not wide open. But, I mean, these are key plays. And to be honest, these are plays the Patriots have been struggling with since they drafted Mac Jones. Really, I mean, even before that. I thought even in Brady's last year, they weren't really hitting on these plays. So it's been a while since they've been able to hit on these plays consistently. Maye's done a pretty good job at it, actually, since he's came in this year. Here, though, this throw is just a bit off. And to be honest, there was just a lot of wonkiness, I guess I would say, with this Patriots offense. A lot of things just not running smoothly. There was this one. This plays another example where it's a 3rd down and 9 situation, and the Dolphins are going to try to catch the Patriots by surprise by blitzing. So, okay, if you're blitzing, but you're not selling as though you're blitzing right at the line, well, then what has to happen? Usually, a safety is going to have to come in, and he's going to have to pick up either a receiver or a tight end or someone. That's what's happening here. So that route, that's the guy who could potentially get open, right? If he can just run, usually what you do here is it's called a hot route, where you don't even run the route you're supposed to run. You instead just quickly look to get open. Maye can hit you, and you can pick up the first down on a 3rd and 9. Okay, makes sense. Here, though, again, you just see they're just not on the same page. Maye thought he was just going to run forward and turn around. Usually, that's how the receiver runs the route. I don't usually see them running it where Maye threw it. So, again, not letting stuff happen there. Of course, the offensive line is an issue. It's going to be 3rd down and 15, so already not an ideal situation. If you're trying to convert it here, you might have to hold on to the ball for a little bit longer. And you see when this play begins, this stunt that the Dolphins pull off completely works. Not well blocked here by the Patriots. And again, because Maye's probably going to hold on to the ball for a little bit longer, he actually steps up away from the unblocked guy, but a different player who was slightly blocked is able to ultimately help make that sack. Two guys, I bet they each got a half sack for that one. Good stuff by Miami for sure, but also not great blocking here by the Patriots. We can get into some positives. There were some really impressive plays from Drake Maye. This one, it's a 3rd down and 9. Maye is going to take the snap, and right off the bat, it doesn't appear to be a great situation. There is pressure, so Maye's in, definitely in a bit of trouble right here. However, he's able to get around that, keeps his eyes downfield, makes the throw, and able to pick up a first down. These are the key plays that Maye can make. This is what got him drafted 3rd overall, and why, the consensus was for him to be drafted 2nd overall. If you remember, the Daniels selection was actually a bit of a bold pick at the time. Also, this one, another interesting one, a 4th down and 15, actually. I'm going to highlight, it's Chop Robinson, the Miami player here. Watch as when this begins. He's going to do a good job at ultimately winning his matchup. He's in position to try and tackle Drake Maye, get the sack, and, be able to celebrate and all that fun stuff. Well, you got to be able to tackle Maye. As you see, Drake Maye is able to get around him, scrambles out, and while completely on the move, fires one down to an admittedly wide open Austin Hooper. But still, to be able to keep your eyes downfield, be able to make a play like that, as you see, as I'm sure you expected, he is able to make the throw and get the completion. But that's a high degree of difficulty play. So you still see those splashes, and that's what you want. It's not Zach Wilson out there, and really a lot of the issues aren't even his fault. But man, there are a lot of issues. Let's talk turnovers. He had a couple. This one was one of them where it's going to be a player who it's hard to see right now because of the sunlight. Obviously, it's easier for the guys on the field to see it, but the camera makes it hard to pick up the white uniform on the sunlight area. Watch as one Maye takes the snap. Well, maybe it is hard to see it with the sunlight. I don't know, because it gets through untouched, so Patriots not able to block him. Drake Maye going to try and figure something out. He does have a halfback who is, open for a check down, so I get why Maye wants to make this throw. I totally understand it. However, he backpedals too much, waits too long, and throws way too high, and also a great defensive play by a defensive lineman to be able to actually step back and get an interception on that play. Definitely a funky looking play. It's not a horrible idea for Maye to make something like that happen, but that's just not how you do that. Also, heading over here, what's going to happen is, so you have a Miami player who is getting through relatively untouched. Again, this isn't Maye's fault. The fact that Maye's in a tough situation here it is what it is. But what you still want to see from a young player is how well do they handle the tough situation. And Maye, he's just not going to do a good job on this play. Watch the ball. Watch how he essentially just starts waving it around, ultimately fumbles the football. When you're in trouble like that, you got to protect the football. You just do. It's something he's going to learn, something he has to learn. You can't give up the fumble like that. So, again, I mean, you're down 24-0 on a third down. You're trying to make something happen. But still, better be down 24-0 than 31-0. This play was weird. I just got to talk about it. I just want to show it to you because it was weird. It was stupid. This didn't work. It's a 3rd and 17. When I first saw this, I thought this was like an end of half type play where there's like 1 second left and you're just trying to do something crazy because that's what it feels like. Well, no, watch how they do this backward pass to a wide receiver who's then going to throw it more towards the bottom of the screen where all the offensive linemen were out to block. Honestly, it maybe could have worked. You see why on paper. It's not a horrible idea, but just very poorly executed. Again, when you're asking a receiver to throw the football, which is not what he's paid to do, it's not always going to work out as well. So unfortunate there. Funny to talk about, but nothing too, no major point there other than I wanted to bring it up in the video. It is a little weird, though. They felt like they needed to do the trick play there on a 3rd and 17. You could have ran a screen pass and maybe gained some yards for a field goal. I don't know. But, got to get creative. It is what it is. But heading over here, I kind of teased earlier about a lot of 3rd down and longs, 2nd down and longs, even 1st down and longs. We got to talk about some penalties. So this play, it's a 3rd down and 3. I'm just going to go through some of these real back-breaking penalties. So, okay, 3rd and 3. You got a 3rd and short here. Well, instead, what you're going to see is Drake Maye, when he takes the snap, there was a false start, so therefore it now gets brought back to a 3rd and 8. Not the end of the world, but they kept making things difficult for themselves, and a lot of times they were killing drives with some of these penalties. You have this play where it's, you're going to see Drake Maye, he makes a throw, trying to make something happen in the end zone, it's incomplete, but instead of having a 3rd down and 6, it was a 10-yard penalty for holding, brings it to a 2nd and 16. They're not able to convert, only get 3 more yards and missed the field goal, actually. It hit the uprights. So that cost them 3 points right there. This play wasn't a penalty, but it was the same effect where they rushed for -6 yards on the play, which, again, completely stalls the drive. Now it's 2nd and 16. What do? It's difficult. They weren't able to overcome, really any of these deficits. Over here, this one sucks too because it was a play that worked, but again, another penalty that took it back 10 yards. So instead of getting a nice play, they go back to a 1st and 20. Again, not able to convert. And this isn't a team built on big plays. These are difficult things to have happen. This play, already a tough spot, 3rd down and 10, but due to what happened was a Dolphins player kind of jumped off sides, but no one reacted to it. So then later a Patriots player moved, and that was the penalty. So instead of having a 3rd down and 10, you're now at a 3rd down and 15. Okay, that's not ideal. On this play, another penalty where they could have potentially had a little bit of a move. That would have been 7 yards. They were having a nice drive here. This was another penalty. This killed this drive. So too many penalties in key spots, and they can't overcome them. So right now, it's just sloppy football. It's things they have to fix. But that's what I think about all this. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.